So we get to do a little bit of troubleshooting here, just kind of looking over the board and realized I made a mistake in putting the ICs in. And you may have spotted it in the previous video when I did it. If you did, congratulations. I've got the PIO and the CPU swapped, and that would certainly be a good reason for nothing to work. So it really doesn't want to let me lever that about. I don't think my good IC puller is sitting over here where I can get my hands on it easily. It's not, which is sad. It should be. So power supply is off. This would be a good reason for it not to run. I'm not really sure how I managed to do that, get them backwards, but I obviously did. CPU. Makes a lot more sense for the CPU to be in the CPU socket. I did that kind of jam there. And for the PIO to be in the PIO socket. So, run from the monitor, we're going to read. Bring up the power supply, and still nothing. And it's only drawn 580 milliamps. Now, boy, I hope I didn't damage one of these two chips. I shouldn't have. Looks like data bus is floating open. I don't know if you can see any of this. There is some kind of clocking going on down here. So it looks like to me at least the crystal is running. I don't see anything happening on the 7474s, which I find we're supposed to be dividing down the clock chain. That's like I said, until I look at the schematic. There's pulsing going on there. Well, shoot. We didn't get lucky enough to just have it come up. With the fact that I'm not seeing anything on the... Oh, I am seeing data pins now clocking. So... yeah, there are some address pins doing things. So the question kind of becomes, is this poor contacts on the ROM? The problem with what I'm doing here is this produces a whole lot of little bitty fiberglass shavings. As I do it right now, they're dropping down onto the bag. It definitely helped though shine those pins up. You don't want to inhale this stuff. You don't want to get it on your skin. I should probably be wearing gloves to do this. You can buy refills for the pin. This pin actually takes a smaller diameter. See, I can see that just wiping that corrosion right off. A smaller diameter refill, which gives me a little more control. Like I say, if you're doing this, eye protection, I do have glasses on, gloves. I can see this, I can just see these just shining right up with just a few strokes of this. I've tried chemicals, I've tried all kinds of things to clean these leads, and this just seems to be I'm going to take that bag, and it's in the trash. I don't expect that to make a difference, but you never know. And displays didn't come up. Now, the first thing is to figure out what U38 is. It may be part of generating these signals for the S100 bus and is optional. So let's see. Double check all ACs. Orientation is in the monitor on reset position. Apply power to press the reset switch. And a dash should appear. Obviously it doesn't. So all kinds of things this could be. Let's start with the Z80. There's the RAM. Z-Bug monitor has monitor select on pin 20. Oops, it would help if the power was on. 2120. So it's not even trying to select the ROM, so that's a good indication of why it's not working. So let's see, let's look at clock 74, so U43 pin. Oh, why aren't the pins marked? Oh, the schematic is piss poor. 74 LS74 U41 pin 3 should have a clock on it, and it does. So that clock is coming from the oscillator circuit here. It should be on pin 5 producing an output, and it is. That output should be going to pin 10 of the LS04. Become inverted, which it is. That clock should then be heading off to pin 6 of the Z80 CPU. So we do have a clock getting to the CPU. Let's look at reset. I can't read the pin number. Let's see if it's any better in the actual manual. It is better in the manual, even though it's smaller. So I didn't generate these scans, and I may actually go ahead and scan that myself, like a 600 dpi scan. So pin 26 is reset. So let's make sure we're coming out of reset. 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Reset circuit's working. So is it trying to do reads? Is on pin 21. So it is doing reads. Let's see, A0 is on pin 30, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. We have activity on A0, A1, A2, A3. It's interesting that we're A0, A1, A2. why. Oh, there it's doing something. Back to the ROM. I think we already looked at chip select on the ROM and saw that it was clocking. Oh no, chip select on the ROM is stuck high. That comes from U40, pin 8. The other sides of that are pin 9 and 10. 9 and 10 are both high, so it's not generating a ROM select. Okay, there it is. So what I'm looking for are the select signals for the ROM. 16-hole pattern U38. Okay. So the 16-hole pattern at U38 actually has all the selects on it, so that you can pick them up and use them elsewhere. And that's, so I probably didn't need to put a socket in there, but I did. So monitor select is on pin 8, and monitor select is actually clocking. Prom 1 select, Prom 2 select. RAM select on 4876554. It's not talking to RAM, but that doesn't mean it shouldn't be. But we do have monitor select here. Or we did have a minute ago. Didn't we see that doing something a second ago? I would swear just a second ago we saw activity. Well, we saw it happen there again for a second. Was it just me slipping? Okay, it's I have no idea why it didn't seem to be showing that. So monitor select on pin 20 here. I should be seeing. I should be seeing the monitor being selected. So now I am. Now what we may have to do is force no ops onto the bus and just get the system to loop in no ops. I'm more and more convinced that it may be actually running the monitor, but for some reason it's not updating the displays. So 74 LS373 at U12 is this guy. We should have +5. And let's see. Pins 2569, 2569, 2569. Okay, so nothing's happening to it to tell it to drive the 7-segment displays. Latch is on pin 11. Nothing's generating the latch, so it's not even trying to write to them. Now, I think at this point, it's been a long day. I am going to close this up here, and I'll come back to this another day or two when I'm fresh-brained. And we'll go from there. I'm going to spend some time studying the schematics as well. Get a little more familiar with how the circuits all work. And we'll come back and do some more troubleshooting. Power off. See you in a future video.